It's showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the Tweed Oil King Podcast. Hosted by Dave Prance and Brad Brooks. It's all Oil Kings all the time. Live from the Super Den. Here's the boys.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to podcast number 3. I'm your host, Super Dave, along with my co-host, the one and only Brad Brooks. Brooksy, how's she going tonight?
Loving life, oil country. Glad to be here.
We got a big show for you tonight. Well, it could be in the morning when you listen to it, but it doesn't matter because it's happening right now. So I didn't know if you noticed on our Facebook page, we're going to have the big Lou Crawford on this week, but he was too busy watching hockey games all week. He was in Montreal, he was in Toronto, he's in Vancouver.
Yeah, busy man.
Busy guy, eh? And that's okay. So next week we're going to have our man George Derry, and George obviously he stepped up because that's what George does, right?
That's all George does.
That's all he does.
Yeah, if you need him, Georgie's there.
Georgie, Porgy.
Yeah.
He was gracious enough that we were going to have him on next week, and at short notice, he's coming on tonight. So he'll be ready to go and primed up because that's what George does.
Yeah, I think a lot of the listeners and, I know the kids for sure are interested in hearing George.
Oh, I'm interested in hearing George.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a great character guy, and
all hard all the time.
all
You don't
hard
have to
all the
worry
time.
about where you stand with George. You know pretty quick where you stand with George.
Yeah, so I'm going to get George on the phone, but before we do that, we're going to, I've decided that, me and Brooksy decided that I think it's better and it works well if we just do the guests first and then recap the game, because it seemed to work pretty good last one, I think.
Yeah, let's fly right into her, get George on the horn, and, we can recap the games after. And
Yep. And then we'll preview Saturday's game, too. Just touch on that a
Glengarry.
little bit. Yeah.
Up on the road this weekend.
All right, I'm going to get Georgie on the phone here.
Well, I'm pretty excited to get this guest on the line here because a lot of things this guy does for the hockey team are, unnoticed and unsung. Anything you need from George, and I think that's a bit of the gem that George is. Anything the club needs, George's going to do, whether it be, give us a good hard shift, give us an energy line, finish your checks, play rough, play physical. Anything we need in the hockey club, George is willing to do. Big shot block last week.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I heard the echo.
He almost got another goal again, too, eh?
Yeah, George
see
is
that?
going to get one.
He's going to get one.
Oh, yeah, he's going to get one here shortly. The thing is a hockey player, and I think this is something for all young kids, too. Don't worry when you're not scoring. Worry when you're not getting chances. As long as you're getting the chances, they're going to come. Sooner or later, you'll find your knack, and those will start dropping for you. But
Yeah.
if you're not getting chances, that's when you got to think, well, hey, what do I got to do here? How do I got to readjust? What do I got to do better, right?
Oh, 100%, right?
Yeah.
I'm
But
just trying
we
to-
got George some ice there, and Rut got him all fixed up, or Jordan, our paramedic, he's a new addition to the team, filling in for Cat. Great guy.
He's a big, tall guy, too,
Oh,
eh?
yeah.
Holy jumpins'.
Oh, he's stretch of water, that boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Madoc boy, I guess. So, but he was great with the team, great with the boys, and got them fixed up after the game. But to lay down in front of that puck, oh my! I don't know if I would have.
No, I'm not a big shot blocker myself. Not really into that. I'd rather be up at the blue line or the red line waiting for the puck. So without further ado, Oil Country, we got old number 7 on the horn here. Georgie Derry, you there, bud?
Yep, gotcha.
There he is.
Hey, George.
Can you hear Brooksy?
Losing you, Dave.
You there?
You're in and out.
Uh-oh. That can't be good. Just hang on.
Clear there.
Is that better?
Can you hear me, George?
Kind of, not really. It's kind of doing some microphone thing.
Okay, just one sec, okay?
Oh, we're having technical difficulties as we do usually on the pod.
Every time, eh?
When we get Big Wheelner here and things go viral, we'll get a tech guy. Rochelle's son's gonna fly us around on her PJ. You know.
Yeah. Still breaking up, bud?
I can hear Brooksie pretty good. You seem to still be doing your thing there.
Why are you picking on me, George?
Yeah, that's better.
Is that
I
better?
can hear you.
There you
Yep.
go. All right, there's our boy. God, we got to get over this phone thing, man.
It'll come. We're gonna iron the kinks out of this.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Oh, Jesus Christ. All things going wrong. Georgie.
What's happening?
Not much. We are glad to have you here.
Well,
Thanks for having me.
Well, George, I'm going to start the listeners and everybody off here. We'll get the generic stuff out of the way, and I know you're probably saying, Brooksie, why are you going to ask me these questions? Because George and I, we grew up together. I've known George quite a while.
Yeah.
Went to the same high school. But for those people that don't know you, George, where were you born? How old are you? You know, now's the time for the shout-outs, mother and dad, siblings. Are you married, kids? And what do you do for a living, buddy?
Well, I'm 35 years old. I grew up in the town of Marmora, born and raised. I live in Roslyn now. I have a wife, Shannon, and 2 kids, Tyson and Peyton.
Nice.
And I am a mason for Hewitt Masonry. Well, A. Hewitt and Sons, he calls it now.
Oh, masonry. Jesus was a masonry, wasn't he, Brooksy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Imagine that. George working with his hands.
Working with Jesus. Yeah.
I was thinking working with his hands.
That too, yeah.
Well, that's awesome, George. And, I was telling a lot of the listeners, you and I, we crossed paths at a young age. And I remember just let the listeners know where you played your minor hockey and how you got into hockey, buddy.
I actually started in Marmora. My tyke and novice year, I actually played goalie like you there, Davy Prance.
There you go. Hey, kid, that's how you learn the game. You got to get some shots shot at you.
But then, I guess it would have been my second year novice. I went to playing out. I just think my old man didn't want me to play goalie.
Not many do.
But yeah, so I went from there. But I went to house league because my parents couldn't afford rep hockey. So I played house league hockey for a year. And then the second year when I got signed up, I got called up, actually, AP'd for one of the teams. So I got to play both.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah. Then I went from there all the way up through to, I guess it would have been midget. We went all Ontario, but we ended up losing. So Brennan Tuckett actually got a call over to the Calford Rebels. So he asked me if I wanted to go. So I said, yeah, why not? So I went over there and started to make a name for myself as a tough guy, or tried to be.
You never won in all Ontario, George?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Don't. I want to get to that. I was talking to your agent. I know some stuff too, bud.
Oh yeah, you're a big deal, George.
Yeah, big deal. The only one with a player.
Yeah, Jason Terry and your agent there. We had to go through him to get to you.
Yeah,
I know he wanted to get on the call here too.
So don't tell it all yet. We'll just stop where you're at.
Yeah, we got to have Jason on at some point.
Yeah, we will. So,
great supporter of the club.
When you first started, George, what did you after goal? Did you start at defense or forward?
D, and then I played D all the way up through.
When did you start playing forward?
with the Oil Kings, actually.
Is that right, eh?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
I got to play, like, say, forward the like on power play or something, jam me in front of the net kind of deal. But
yeah.
no, I played D all the way through.
There you go.
So my question is, George, last summer when you you heard, the municipality was gonna ice a senior A hockey team, what attracted you?
That I'm gonna actually get to play some good hockey again. So I actually was telling my brother and my dad that I said I'm trying out. And they go, well, we knew you were. Yeah. So I said, yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot and see if I can make it. And I actually remember who I got the number from, but I phoned the guy from the ECHL or whatever to find out who our manager was. Because
who are White Whale?
Mitchy
You
Gagne?
called Mitchy Gagne?
Yeah, and he's like, it's John Desjardins, and here's his number.
You
can
could
give him a call.
You could be our go-to guy to snag our White
You've
Whale.
already talked to Mitchy, George.
He's got a line to him.
Man, we've been on.
Damn it.
We've been on hold for him 3 weeks now.
He still hasn't answered. The phone's we're on hold.
Just got George phone.
I messaged him, and then he got back to me, and he said, if you could just give me a quick call, and then can shoot you the information. So
unbelievable.
So did you have to call him Mr. Gagne, or was it like a first name basis, Mitch and George?
It was more of just, hey, how are you, kind of thing, because I didn't know his name.
Listen here, bud. I'm kind of a big deal. I don't know if you know this or not. But I have a question, George.
Go ahead.
When you were younger, when you played, were you like you're a big boy. I'm not gonna mince. Big boy. Like I wouldn't want to. What was that? Catch me outside?
Yeah.
Yeah. You won't catch me outside with George. Were you always a big boy back in the day when you were a younger player?
No, I didn't really get to be taller until I don't know, sprouted up maybe grade 10 kind of thing.
Is that right, eh?
Put on a little weight, but I was always the smaller one. When we were growing up, like Dave Hughes, he was the bigger lad on our hockey team.
Oh yeah.
So
is his dad Hughesy the electrician? Or no?
No, Dave would work for Hydro, and then his dad is also named Dave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great names.
They're farmers. Or were farmers over that way.
Right. I was just curious if you were like knocking people down at a younger age or not, or if it happened later, because that does in most cases, right, Brooksy? You know that. Like,
I got a few duck-ups when I was going up through.
Well,
I always liked it because didn't matter until playoffs anyway. Yeah. And we were actually able to get into a few tilts and like more. I think it's shunned upon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, in today's hockey, you're definitely right there, George. There's but something I think we all found out a couple of years ago when Tom Wilson took advantage of the New York Rangers that there was nobody in the Rangers lineup to stop that. And in today's hockey, I'm a firm believer you still need to have, a bit of a presence out there. A guy like yourself, George, that can play the game, but also keep guys honest out there. You're acting up, there's a piper to pay, right, buddy?
That's right. Don't mess with the goalie or you're going to get the Dukes.
No free ice. But I think, I had the privilege of growing up around the Derry boys, and George had an older brother, Richard. And Richard was closer to my age. I'm 42. What's Richard, 40? Georgie?
Yeah, he'll be 41 in January, I think.
Yeah. So I got to, play a little bit of hockey against Richard and got to know Richard. And there was no doubt I knew the type of person that George was later on in life probably going to morph into, just as the protector and
Sure, yeah.
You know, just the little things that George does from meeting his brother Richard, because Richard keep you honest too.
Definitely had big shoes to fill.
Yeah. Richard was a heavyweight of our age group, sort of thing. You know, his name was definitely thrown around. You want to have your shoes done up.
That's it.
I don't know which one of you sons of
Done up
bitches
face.
it was. But a couple years ago, I went out and I hadn't played Saturday Night League, and I don't even know how long, but I went out because Tyler that worked there, he said, "Oh, we got no players, man. Can you come in and play?" So I was like, "Yeah, I'll come in and play." It was either you or your brother hit me in the boards over by the glass, and you guys are chuckling. Was it you or was it your brother? You remember?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, it was probably Richard. Anyway, he's chuckling. Thought it was pretty funny, and then I couldn't lift my arm for like fucking 2 months.
Oh, always loved playing against the Derry boys on Saturday nights. You knew you were going to get into the game quick, and there was no free ice. It was good hard hockey.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Luke Murphy, he still wants me to play, but it's just tough when we're playing the senior A, right? Because it's
well, you just,
Tyson's on the ice 5 times a week too, so it's.
Where's Tyson playing right now? In Belleville, is it?
He's playing for the Belleville Junior Bros AA under 14 team.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Tyson. It's super. Helped out a little bit with his team last year in Tweed, and George, big fan of Tyson, and well, that goes to say with you and Shannon.
Yeah,
I think I saw a picture of him online the other day. So is he rocking 88?
Yep.
The big Linda.
Yep.
Yeah.
OJ, and that's what he says. He goes, Big E.
The Big E. Well, he's not a small boy, that's for sure.
No, he's about he's taller his mom now, and he's about 160 pounds. So
the Big T, the Big Tyson.
The Big T. Train wreck coming.
That's right.
Good for him. So let's touch on that. Not a lot of people get to do it and win in all Ontario, which is kind of a great experience. I know I've been a part of one, and it is awesome. So yours was in it was 2006?
7.
2007. And who was your coach?
Charlie Tebow.
That's pretty awesome, eh?
Yeah, Charlie and Jesse Cassidy was there, and Steve Butcher and Sam Danford.
Is that right, eh? Is it true you got kicked out?
I got kicked out in the second game.
Oh, yeah.
No, wait. Yeah, second game. Couldn't play the third game. The boys had to win for me to play one more.
And they did?
What took us to game 5.
Yeah.
And we had to go to Waynfleet. And it went tied, and we had to go to overtime. And I remember being out in the ice and just like doing a chip thing off the boards across. Chad McLean picked it up. I was skating off. I didn't even get to see the goal, but he scored a phenomenal goal, I guess. And we won it all.
And that was in double overtime or single?
Single overtime.
Single overtime.
You know, it's funny, George. I never seen that goal, but I feel like I was there because I got, as you know, got to coach with Charlie for years. Rest in peace, Chucky, if you're listening, buddy. And he told me about that. He said, you know, like George was kicked out, and then to win, and then to go back up to Waynfleet, and he says, you know, he didn't think you guys were going to win on the road. And then to go to overtime, and then he said Chad McLean scored that goal. And George honestly probably heard him tell that story 5 to 6 times. So, you know, a lot of people have a lot of memories of that all Ontario, buddy.
That year, I actually got the Terrian Award for best defenseman. And Charlie gave it to me at the awards, and I got a picture on the wall in my shed. It's of me, him, and Mr. Madoc, Johnny Ellis.
All right, Johnny.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a memory I got. Probably never ever forget it.
No, those are good things.
George, here's your chance. from that 07 team, you want to give any shout outs to any of the guys you played with?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, Brennan Tuckett, Paul Hanley. Oh, there's so many I would like to say the whole name, but I don't got a list in front of me. It's been that long, you know. All the boys in that team we all came together. It was a very good hockey club. Charlie didn't put up no shit, so it was either you come to play hockey or you sat in the fucking bench.
Yeah, he was special,
So-
wasn't he?
That was midget,
Made you a
George?
hockey player, I found. Right? You either played or you didn't. And if he asked you to do something, you did it, and that's the way it was.
Yeah, I think one of the things I stole from Charlie is just the way he was able to relate to his players and, you know, get his players to believe and buy in and, you know.
But he knew every player. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, George.
Every player had a different approach to them. Like, for me, it was to calm me down, get me playing hockey. Don't
calm you down?
penalty, you know, and then say with Paul Hanley or something, he'd be like, you got to use your finesse. You got to get in the corner and get them pucks out front and that kind of stuff. Like little Brennan Besna on the point. Come on, buddy, you got to get up there. I know you're not that big, but let's get rocking, kind of thing.
Yeah,
he knew every player, knew how to talk to each one of them.
Yeah, that was definitely one of his talents, was finding, you know, different personalities. And something he taught me in my coaching career too was, you know, he's like, Brooksie, some of these guys you can yell at and they're going to look back at you and give you that, you know, F you look and say, I'm going to go out there and respond. Where another player, you take that same approach and you're, you know, screaming, yelling, he shuts right down on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not work. No.
That's right. So he's like, Brooksie, you got to understand personalities. You just got to get to know these guys. So when I'm asking, you know, lots of questions to the guys on the hockey team, that's why. Because I want to know your kids. I want to know your family. You know, we want to have that common ground.
That's right.
So you mentioned a couple of guys there. You played for the Lakers in what, 207? Was that?
No,
208.
I actually it would have been 208 because
208, yeah.
I played my last year, and then it was Curtis Trumbull actually called me and says, do you think you'd play? So a funny story about Curtis Trumbull.
Yep.
In my younger days, I actually got called up to a juvenile game when I played in midget, and I went under someone else's name. And
bring it in the ringer.
I love it because they were short players, and we were playing in what's that little town just before you get off the 115 there on the right?
Keene or
like
Durrell?
Before you get on the 401 off the 115. Or is it Aurelia?
I can't remember.
But anyway,
yeah.
Great that we're playing those guys. And he's like, whatever you do, don't get in a fight. And I'm like,
okay.
Oh, I can't promise you anything, but whatever. I'm like, get out there. And it's like me playing against my brother kind of thing. And I'm like, holy fuck, these guys are big.
Mm-hmm.
And half, you know, timid but getting my regular shift. So I'm like, okay, this is better and got a few chances. Well, anyway, I rammed this guy in the boards and it was a bit from behind, but he turned around
a bit.
Well, my bucket's off, and there we are. We're going at her. And I could just hear Kurt, oh, just tuck and roll. Well, next thing you know, when he got back to play, like the next game, he's like, well, you can't play, you're kicked out. So
that's your debut and you get booed.
I kind of messed that up for him, but
oh well.
Was what it was.
You can't be perfect all the time, right?
No, he ripped my helmet off. I didn't rip it.
You're just obliging to the dance, eh, George?
Can't have that.
That's right.
You're one to turn down a dance. I seen you at Palmateer's wedding.
Yeah, that's right.
Giddy up.
Get a few drinks into me, I can ask you in and shoot. I like to dance.
There's something you
James
don't know about
Brown.
me. There's something about you don't know about me, George. I like to move my body other than the dance floor.
There you go.
There you go. So where I was going with that was back then when you played for the Lakers. Was it? Can you remember? Was it like this, or is this faster? What do you think? Like compared to the two?
Well, I was a lot younger. And
Yeah, I know it's tough. The
vape
answer.
and probably didn't smoke as many cigarettes.
Don't smoke, kids.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, no, but
Anyways, my first game as the Lakers, I didn't get a shift until 17 seconds left in the game, and my manager started to chant in the crowd in Marmara, Georgie, Georgie, Georgie. And I'm like, oh my God. John Antosky was my coach.
Yeah.
And he says, well, they want you to go out. I'm like, there's only 17 seconds left, dude. And he's like, that's all right. Get out there. So I went out and I skated. I don't know if we got a goal scorer on us or what. But anyway, it was at center ice to face off. So face off went. Puck got dumped into their zone. And I go in and I hit Dave Stewart.
From Norwood.
Yeah. And he goes, you want to go? And I'm like, I didn't even say nothing. I just dropped my gloves and give him a shove. And he's like, it's on. The first punch, he cut me over top of the eye.
Oh, Jesus.
I near buckled, but then I got up and I started swinging. And I know all I remember is getting back to the bench. And Sean goes, oh, my God, I'm going to have to work with you. And that's my brother always said to me, he goes, I never keep my feet apart. So.
Yeah.
It's something I had to work on over the years.
17 seconds.
Tall string bean and keep my feet together. So
there you go.
Oh, he made the stats.
Yeah. Got the game
17 seconds. And they knew George was in the
game.
game.
He's in the game. And how long? Just the one season with that?
2.
2? Yeah.
I did 2 seasons with them, and then they didn't go very much longer.
No, I don't think so.
I played one game with Coldwater. I actually got called to play one game. It was remember the Whitney Dunlop?
Oh yeah.
And they
Norwood
played
Vipers.
against Coldwater. But remember the lad that got killed because his helmet come off? It was like a tribute game to that.
Oh.
Anyway, me and this other lad got called from Marmara to go play for Coldwater. Paid us $250 to go up. I'm like, and at the time I was living in Valcairn, just north of Sudbury. And I didn't have my equipment. It was in Sudbury, and I was in Marmara for the weekend. My brother's like, oh man, we're going. We're getting Dad. We're going. I got my equipment. We're going. You're going. So they ended up driving me up there. And so I'm wearing my brother's equipment, and it feels goofy as all get the heck out.
Yeah, wearing someone else's gears.
Uncomfortable.
I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, okay, so like there's a few guys on this team that are dinks, and if something happens, you guys are going to take care of it. I'm like, oh, perfect. Not even going to have to play long. I'll just go out and scrap and be out of my brother's equipment before you know
it. Get this sloppy old equipment off as quick as I can, George?
Yeah. So anyways, it was like the second period. There might have been 10 minutes left to go or something. And I remember the guy coming off, and he's like, go out and scrap. Yeah. Like, I need to catch my breath. And I'm like, too late, just open the door. And I skated right across the ice, drove this guy into the boards. And he's like, we're going at her. And my brother got it all on videotape. I do not know if he still has it on video, like has the video, but.
Oh, you're going to have to get that sent to the pod if he does.
Yeah. So ended up getting in a good little tilt and then going home with $250 in my pocket.
Thank you, Coldwater, Georgie?
Yes. That was the only game I played for them. So.
Oh, geez. That's a good story, buddy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, not a lot of people. No one asks, eh? So you never, unless you're sitting around a bonfire or something, you just want to tell a good story.
Oh, man.
Which I got lots of
Oh, that I know. That I know. We'll have to, some of those would have to go after hours, though, George.
Yes, I know.
That's something we might start up in the next couple of weeks is a after hours pod where if you don't want to listen, you shut her off. We'll have you back
A
on.
little dressing room talk,
adult
George.
beers only.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
dressing room talk if you really want to let her fly. You know, if you want to tell some offside
True.
stories. We got to get some single young guys that can tell some good
Yeah,
stories on here.
yeah. That'd be a good idea.
Like, we're all handcuffed, eh, George? You know, like we can.
You got to be careful what you say.
Oh yeah, all three of us got misses.
Yeah.
You know, we come out of line there, and ooh.
Yeah, she's
Oh, yeah.
in the kitchen, actually. She hears us.
Yeah, that's the biggest piper you got to pay.
So I got a question for you, Georgie.
Okay.
I know why you wear it, but why don't you tell our listener why you wear it? Why number 7?
So when I was going to try out for the Oil Kings, buddy of mine, Jason Terrian,
His
said,
agent.
if you make the
Player
Oil
agent.
Kings, you got to wear the number 7 for his dad, like Greg Terrian. So
Rest in
I
peace,
said,
Greg.
if I make it,
R.I.P.
I'll ask him if I can wear number 7.
So it's in honor of Greg.
It was like honor of Greg, yeah. So I don't know. It was like, I don't know, the 4th time being out there, and I'm like, God, is Johnny gonna tell us, or like, did I make it or didn't I make it? And then when he did finally call and said, yeah, you made the team, kind of thing. Do you know what number, whatever? I said, if I can, I would like to have number 7 for my buddy's dad. And then I told him the story, right? Greg Terrian just passed away and blah, blah, blah. And I said, it'd be a big honor for me and, well, Jason and his family. I kind of, that's why I did it.
That's great.
That's awesome, George, because I got that man was near and dear to my heart also. My father played a lot of old-timers hockey, and when he was done his men's league hockey in Tweed, he ended up going to Marmor to play old-timers. And I'm like, what are you doing driving 45 minutes? Sunday mornings, they'd practice, and they'd go all over. They'd play Lake Placid, Walt Disney World. They won a lot of old-timers tournaments. But I could never figure out why he'd drive all the way over to Marmor. Like, Tweed had old-timers hockey. But then he introduced me to number 7. And I got to know Greg. As a 15-year-old boy, I was introduced to Greg Terrian, and it was pretty special, the relationship my father and Greg ended up having, on Saturday nights when the Leafs would play the Habs, because my father's a huge Habs fan. And,
Crazy. That's his only flaw.
Yeah, well, he's got more, but anyhow. Greg, he bled blue and white, so the two of them, whenever you get them in the dressing room, they just be tonguing each other all the time. But when they played on a Saturday night, if Toronto scored seconds, you could count it, 1,000, 2, 1,000, the house phone would start to ring. Dad would be like, don't pick that up, whatever you do, yelling at the kids, me and my sister and my mother. It'd be Greg Terrian. As soon as the Leafs score, he'd be phoning Brooksy, and vice versa. But the one year he got Todd Gill, the Toronto Maple Leafs, to send my father an obscene postcard wishing him a Merry Christmas. It was one of the funniest things. But I definitely respect that, George, why you're wearing that number 7. And
100%.
just the way that guy operated, inside, outside, with the kids, with me as a 15-year-old man. And I know Jason, Ryan, Tyson, Cindy, you never replace a guy like that.
No.
But
well, when he owned the Esso in Marmora, he would always have, say, I remember as a kid, me and my brother, we would have hockey cards because that was the thing back in the day, was hockey cards. But he would get
that was our Nintendos.
I got a garage full of them.
Idomi, Wendell Clark, Rick Vive, those guys all come up to the gas station and they would sign hockey cards for all the kids in town. So it was like, you know what I mean? Like, and he'd be like, oh yeah, just, normal Greg, you know what I mean? I don't, like, for the longest time, it wasn't like he was an NHL hockey player. He was just Tyson and Ryan and Jason's dad.
Yeah.
Well, that was the best thing about Greg. He was an everyday man.
He didn't give off that impression that I'm better
No,
than
he
anyone.
had time for everybody.
That was
It
the
didn't
greatest
matter
thing
who
ever.
walked by. Greg had time for you. And that's something my dad was always so impressed with, because he could talk for hours on Greg. He definitely cherished the moments that he got to spend with that guy. But just the way my dad say, he's like, Brad, I think these guys were trained by the NHL, by the alumni, on how to act out in the public. He's like, Greg's flawless. He says, you get him in a hotel room with the boys.
Oh, my.
But when he
or
was
at the hunting camp.
Oh, that's right. Greg could let his hair down. But when he was out in public, my, oh, my, he was just always had time shaking hands. Because let's be honest, always, no matter how many times I was talking to Greg, somebody would come up and want to say, hi.
Yeah.
I remember you from.
And he would entertain.
Always got time. Always 100%. Had the time.
I'm surprised he didn't have as many gray hairs as he did having those 3 boys of his.
Well, no, yeah, no doubt. What was crazy?
To say it, boys, but
they're great boys. We love the Terrians.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're not right.
You boys put him under a lot of stress. Him and Cindy too. My God, Cindy. I don't know how you did it.
Fantastic woman. Fantastic woman.
What was crazy for me about Greg was when I grew up in Toronto, we lived with my stepfather. I stayed with them to play hockey back there, right?
Yeah.
And the guy that he roomed up with, they shared the apartment together. He worked at the Toronto Star, and he had season tickets to Maple Leaf Gardens. So we would go to Leaf games on Wednesday nights and Saturday nights. So back then when I was a kid, it was Rick Five, John Anderson, Greg Terrian, so here I am watching.
Lego.
Yeah, Builder Lego. Friggin' Bunny LaRock, just. So then the crazy part about it was, I was looking for a place to play on Thursday nights, and Daryl says, "Well, I go over to Marmor, and I play with Brian Brooks and Johnny and Tommy and Greg Terrian." I was like, "Greg Terrian? Oh yeah, okay, let's go." So then when I get there, I'm like, and I don't know, I was probably in my 30s, late 30s when I first started going there, because I went for quite a few years.
Yeah.
And got to actually play with him. When I met him, it was the craziest thing ever, because I remember him larger than life down playing in the game, and then here you meet him, and he's just this
one of the boys,
grassroots, just
one of the
an unbelievable man, and missed, that's for sure. And I could go on some stories of old timer tournaments with him, but I don't want to tell too many out of school.
Whiskey in hand, boy.
Oh my God! What, you knew when he was full of whiskey, because there'd be slap shots coming, right? There's no slap shots. I don't care. Oh well, that's a great story, and you have not disrespected that number. That's for sure.
Way.
In your play, George, at all.
Pretty impressed. George, what you do for this hockey club, and I speak for myself as an assistant coach, and I know the players, how much, we love you, buddy.
Well, thank you.
You know how I feel about you, Lionheart.
Yeah, I did get my message on there. That was touched me, touched my heart.
And I meant every word of it, bud. And you're a big fan favorite in Tweed, right?
How can he not be, Dave? Let's. Right? When we get people on here, George, we might do a little tire pumping, but
we have that.
You stole my wife's heart when we did the autograph signing. You went out that day and you took care of business, and you see that side of George on the ice, and all of a sudden you come upstairs, and the kids are a little sheepish, and you're like, "Get over here!" And my wife is like, "Oh my God, look at that guy." I said, "Jenny, he's got a heart as big as this upstairs, buddy. So don't you ever change, George.
No.
Don't you ever change, buddy."
No, not at all. Okay, so I know you won't. That's what class guys do. So that's enough pumping your tires too, by the way. We're done with
yes.
That. All right. So here
I can see you blushing, George.
Yeah. Here's the it's time for the question. You like that?
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, George. This is a question we're going to ask every player, because you're the first player we've had on the pod so far. So here it is. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. The prize is a half bag of Dorito Cool Ranch chips, okay? Here we go.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Half bag. What? You eating the other half?
I already ate the other half.
You got hungry, buddy.
What's your favorite hockey movie? Here's your choices. A, Disney's Mighty Ducks. B, Youngblood. C, Mystery Alaska. Or D, Slapshot.
Going with Slapshot.
Attaboy, Georgie.
We should have took a poll. I had you down for a Slapshot guy too,
I have
George.
it for Slapshot, 100%.
But here's something I want to know, George, because now we've been through a bit of the hockey and the family and all, the personal history. On a Sunday night, the kids are gone to bed. What are you and Shannon watching on Netflix?
Cozied up on the couch.
Yep, you're cozied up on the couch
Fire's
Sunday
going.
afternoon or Sunday night. What's George and Shannon throw on for Netflix?
Netflix?
Or, well, what do you watch
Anything.
TV? Yeah, like
Well,
anything.
she likes her baseball. She's into the baseball, and if the hockey, if Toronto's playing, we're watching that.
Oh,
She's,
man.
There you
She
go.
knows sports more than me. Like
I'm
for that
coming to
kind of
hang out
stuff
with
goes
yous on
everybody.
Sunday.
Yeah.
My wife's Desperate Housewives, Home and
I
Garden
actually got her
TV.
into
I
the
want to.
football pool this past 2 years. I got her into the football pool, so she likes to watch the football just so she can go at her picks. But
Good girl.
How do you do that?
Some
I don't
guys
know.
have it all.
Unbelievable.
so always an argument of you pick it or I'm picking it, or I don't know. So it's normally an action movie or something. Sometimes, not gonna say it on here.
Yeah, I better not, eh? Keep that one to yourself.
Well,
Throw it all check back on and we'll tell-
I seen you a bit of a Yellowstone guy, George.
Yeah, we watched that.
Yeah.
We like that. Dexter was good.
Oh, that's a good
yeah.
show. I love that show. Yeah, it was
Oh,
good.
the other Queen of the South was
Yeah.
another one he liked. I
haven't
didn't mind
watched
it
that
either.
one.
It was good.
Right on.
Oh, it's good.
I'm always looking, for something because I always get in trouble from the wife. Oh, you watch your sports. Oh, you watch your sports. So that's I'm just gonna pull all the guys and say, what are you watching? Just to, maybe something me and the wife can watch together.
What's
Just
the one with Raymond Reddington? She likes that one too.
The Blacklist.
Oh, I've
that-
watched that. Yeah,
I
that's
like
okay.
that too.
Yeah, it's not
I
bad.
like
She always
Shannon's,
finds good series on
Shannon's
there.
choice of TV.
Yeah, she likes to watch ball, football,
Yeah,
hockey.
she's a
Oh,
keeper,
Jesus,
Georgie.
Georgie.
You did
Hang
good,
on to
bud.
that one, Georgie. Don't
Oh,
mess
yeah.
it up.
Somebody's playing above the rim, eh, Dave?
I think so. A little bit above his head, but that's okay because we love him. When another question for you, George. Last year,
Okay.
when the so you make the team, everything's rolling along, and at what point, like for me, it was pretty early to see that I was definitely a part of, in my own little way of what I bring, a part of something special. When did you realize that you were a part of something special last year? Earlier or later?
Well, once you like, whenever I went there and I didn't really know anybody other than like Jeremy Yearwood and Jacob, and
Mhm.
we were my mates, right? So it was good that way. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
It took a bit, to get to know everybody, but then once you get playing with everybody and knowing who they are and find out how everybody is, and we're all a family.
That's right.
So it's just different last names, right? So, but
I
we
like that.
all seem to click, and yeah, I felt like a big part of it. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna say midway through when I started, you're coming off and the guy's telling you good job and thanks a lot and I'm glad you had my back and that kind of stuff. It really makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm an all right hockey player, but I'm not the best.
Don't you be
hockey
selling
player.
Don't-
yourself
yeah,
short,
By any
you.
means, but I'm part of it.
Yeah.
They made me feel part of it. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, to me, sitting back, as there was a TSN turning point in our season. And in my opinion, the TSN turning point was that minor hockey day in Tweed.
Mm-hmm.
We had the minor hockey day in Tweed.
Mhm.
We had Gannon Aquay come to Tweed,
Oh, Jesus.
and that was Chris Newberry's first game.
Yeah.
So you know
Yeah.
you had the lure, I guess, of having an ex-NHLer playing his
He was
first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in Tweed, and that's the day, kid, that you stole my heart.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
It was insane.
tilt in the first period.
Insane.
It was
What,
great.
I threw the net over the goalie or what?
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I tell everybody. I said, you know, when you sit back and think of that day, we were
Lou Cropper was mad at me, boy, for that.
What's that?
I said, "Oh, Lou, he was mad at me for that." He goes, so when I come off, I actually, after that first little tilt,
Yeah.
I come off because I was cut from the cross check that I got.
In the lips.
So my cheek was all a bruised kind of deal, but it was bleeding and it wouldn't stop. So they're like, you got to go off until you can get that stopped kind of thing. So when I come off, Sean Antosky was meeting me at the door going like, what in the did I not teach you anything? I'm like, oh, now I got to hear it from my old coach, and I'm going to hear it from my new coach when I get in, like when he comes up. So anyway, they're giving me pointers or whatnot. But anyway, so after that, I went back out to the penalty box. And when we come in between the periods, that's where like the team was like, oh my God, good job, out of work kind of thing. But Lou's like, I need to see you in the other room. Oh, here we go.
This is hilarious.
So anyway, get pulled in the other room. Lou goes, good job, but when I send you out on the power play, he's like, you can't do that. He's like, I know. He's like, I told you to go in front of the net, not throw the net over the goalie. I'm like, yeah, I know, but
Sorry, Lou.
But checking me in the back, and just the first thing that came into my mind was throwing the net over the goalie. And he goes, well, that was not the thing to do. I said, I know.
I know.
Sorry.
I know.
But that's
So-
that's when you stole my heart, buddy, because
Oh,
you took that cross check to the lips. You got down, you took care of business
Yep.
there in the first period. And then
Oh, my.
later on in that, what was it, midway through the second?
Second, I think.
Yeah,
It was right at the end of the second.
right at
Yeah.
the end of the second. Yeah. 4 games professional. Eric Selleck asked you for
Yeah.
a go around, and yeah, you took that dance too. Where I'm not gonna lie,
No.
you'd already fought once in the day. That second one, that there, not many guys would have took
Not
that.
the guy I'd want to tussle with, that's for sure.
Well, George don't pick his fights,
no.
and that's
The
what I
whole
learned
reason
that day.
No.
The whole reason I did that is because, well, Zach Elson,
Yeah.
Yep.
if them were capping going up the ice, and I'm like, no way, like Zach's one of our better defensemen, you know what I mean? I'm like, this ain't fucking happening.
No.
Thing. So I kind of just
That's Georgie.
poked my stick into his gut there a little bit, one bit, and he's like, want to go? And I'm like, I already had my glove off, and away we went. But like, he did some kind of jerk move and pulled my finger out of joint. So then I had to
Trickery.
your light.
I got a picture of the X-ray you sent me. We should put that on the pod on the George's
Yeah.
finger.
Yeah, we'll do that.
But he's a tough SOB.
No doubt. His resume is pretty big, eh? Like, I don't know if I want to tackle him, but
Yeah, I wouldn't
that's
have
why
took
you
that
don't.
tilt.
No, not at all.
Especially my second one of the night.
Catch me outside. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
But I got him too, so it's not. I didn't
you did fine.
lose.
Nope, you did fine. You did a good job on that one. The funniest thing is later on, did Louis say something to you after that fight too, or no?
Yeah, that good work, good job. But
Yeah.
if it weren't for my finger,
You weren't on the
Going back.
power play.
I was going back out.
Yeah.
He goes, are you serious? And I'm like, look at my finger, dude. Like, I can't even hold a stick. He goes, well, so, Cat tried to put it back into place.
Did it hurt right away when it
After
happened?
a couple
or
of guys
no
pulled
adrenaline?
on it and jerked on it, I'm like, it ain't going. But I didn't end up going to the hospital till
Monday.
the next day because I said, well, I'm going to have a couple beers at the arena.
Well, we won 6-5 with 6 seconds left, and we had
And then I
hockey
had to do
moms.
autographs.
Oh,
So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the night you did autographs.
I said, yeah. So
The busted up mitten.
On that
just
note, what was that like, George? Funny feeling?
What's
Kids wanting your autograph?
never really done that before. So it was, that Rochelle come down, like, you guys
Yeah.
going to get up there and do some autographs? And I said, oh yeah, no big deal. And a lot of the team went up, right? So
Yeah.
when we got up there, it was like when they can start rushing around you and you're like, holy, they're actually wanting my autograph. So
Pretty neat experience, eh?
few signing it up and it put a big smile on my face, and then there
Yeah.
was some
Well,
that
you
wanted
put smiles
pictures.
on their faces too, you.
Yeah.
They wanted pictures and stuff. So, but then like when I go there, say this year, like I played that first game at home.
Yeah.
When I'm coming off the ice, they're, hey, George. Like, oh my God, they remember.
Yeah, they remember.
When are you dropping the mitts? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
not yet.
No.
Wow, that's one thing I couldn't be any prouder with you guys. And I knew that going in is just a relationship you guys have bonded with them kids.
Yeah,
You know,
it's pretty special.
It is. It really
Well,
is.
I coach by we do. So
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I forgot about that, eh?
Well, yeah, you get to go out there, and my kids are younger than George's.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they'd get to walk in the rink. They'd be like, "Dad, that guy, Oil Kings gloves." I'm like, "That's George. He
George,
plays." And it's like, whoa, it's funny. Yeah, to those kids, George, it is a big deal, buddy. You're a big deal, bud.
When I was so Tyson's coach asked me to come down and help them out. And I said, yeah, I can, but like I told Shannon, like, I'll help out, but I'm gonna play this year. I don't know if this is my last year or not. Been talking to my brother, like he's like, oh, you got another couple years into you yet.
Not a boy, Richard.
Richard.
I love Richard.
Yeah.
When I get down there, I'm out there helping out John DeMille, and he goes, a couple of the kids come up, they're like, Oil Kings, like, you play for the Edmonton Oil Kings? And I'm like, no, I wish.
Yeah.
I said, no, I play for the Tweed Oil Kings. And they're like, well, where's Tweed? And I'm like, where I live. And they're like, do you guys like get your own gloves? And I'm like, yeah. We get our own helmets.
Yeah,
We get our own
helmets.
paint.
We're gonna have to bring
get
them down to the
Yeah.
game, buddy.
Jeez, we got bananas. We got all kinds of stuff.
So
Yeah,
But
let's
that's
get
all-
that Double A team down to a Oil Kings game, George, and show them what it's all about. eh?
they've already mentioned they want to come and watch. And they're like, well, we want to come and see you play. And I said, well, see what I can do. So
Well, that'll be cool.
Yeah, I think we can make that happen.
Yeah. We can figure that out.
just got to be on a day that they're not playing.
Yeah, and that's what's hard too, with minor hockey going and stuff. They're always playing on the weekends, but then
They're Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then whatever they have on the weekends, right? So
yeah.
Busy man,
My
George. No
soul.
dust under your boots, eh?
no, I'm on the ice, at least 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing. It's just sometimes you just want to stay home and have a cold pop,
Oh, I know what you're saying there.
little meal, and watch a little TV and kick your feet up.
This is so last year and the year before, my Eli, he didn't play. And then my other boy that played. So basically since 2006, I've been involved one way or another with both teams, or one team coaching or assistant coaching. And then finally, you know what, this year, he said last year that he wanted to play, and then this year I said, you know what, I'm just gonna watch. I'm just gonna take the time to watch him, because the crazy part is that you don't really watch your own kid when you're coaching, eh?
Isn't that the truth?
No.
And it's very time consuming. I mean, you're running home from work for practice to get on the ice, to get
Yep.
prepared or whatever.
Yeah,
But-
most people just think you show up on the ice, but a real good hockey coach,
Oh, it
he's
doesn't
spending an
stop.
hour
You're
45
always
getting a
thinking about it.
practice plan, getting stuff together. But go ahead, Dave.
Yeah. So my point being is I'm just gonna take this year and just enjoy watch my son play hockey.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. I miss being in the room, I won't lie to you. And I've already kind of went out on the ice a couple times for practice already. And I'll probably do it again. But
Dave, we're cut from the
I
same
know,
cloth
I
because
just- it's
after
so hard.
15 years of minor hockey, I did the
Yeah.
same thing.
yeah.
I said, I'm taking a me
so
year,
hard. Yeah.
you know, and just to let me recharge, get that love for the rink back, and
Yeah.
being around George and these guys, that's brought the love. That's get me back to the rink, you
Yeah.
know.
No, it's been this last year was amazing, and you were obviously a huge fan favorite, George. And I'm sure you obviously know that. I mean, you're signing
George is a
autographs.
huge
for Christ's
part,
sakes,
huge
right?
part of our hockey
You were
club.
pivotal last year, and again this year. I mean, and it's funny because I know you say, oh, you're not that skilled of a hockey player, but I can see a difference. And I know this might sound weird, but I can see a difference in your play last year to the end of the year and even this year. Like,
Oh yeah,
I think when you play with skilled players, and you just can't help but get better, even as you're older. You know what I mean?
and get it back, right,
Oh, yeah,
George? It's
Yeah.
been a while.
This year with Fly, right? And we've had a couple of practices. I know it's only been a couple of practices, but certain things like I said to Murray Free one time, I'm not a fucking forward, man. I've never played forward. I don't know it.
Well, that,
Like,
yeah.
help me out kind of thing. And he does, but he likes to grind my gears that I can't hit the fucking net with the puck.
Mary.
Good old
But other
Capmer.
than that, he likes to push my buttons that way, but he's always same as Jer. A lot of the teammates, you know, you're gonna get one, you're gonna pop one, you're gonna do this.
Oh,
And
it's
it's like it's
It honestly makes more
so
sense to me.
And last year I tipped one off a shot from the point and it went in and the team went nuts.
Yeah.
But they called it offside and it didn't count.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it kind of pissed
You're
me.
gonna get this one. You're gonna get one this year, George, and it's just got to go those hard areas that a lot of guys won't go, but George Derry will.
yeah.
That's where you'll find her.
Well,
6 feet out from the net.
It was something you said earlier,
6
George,
feet
that made more sense to me is that you were always a defenseman. And you weren't a forward until you started playing for the Oil Kings. Well, I think you're learning that position as you go along, right? Like, am I wrong or?
No, as an assistant
No,
coach,
no.
George does the little things that we want. He finishes his checks.
Yeah.
He knows, he gets out there, he gets the energy going, and
Yeah.
he creates some chances. He gets what we want from George's line is havoc.
Yeah.
Absolute havoc. When he gets out there, we want the other team to be on their tippy toes, and we want some offensive zone time where George and the boys can wear down the defense, right, George? Finish those
Yeah,
checks.
get held in their zone, get a face off, and get the big boys out to do their job.
Exactly.
Yep.
But then we'll go, here we are, 2 goals in, and you've almost scored twice, right? So that's the one.
Yeah, I thought you had
Oh
one
my
up in
God,
Smith
Smith
Falls
Falls.
the first night. I was like, gee. The goaltender got a piece of that one. But
Yeah.
that's the thing, George, and I was talking about it earlier in the pod. As long as you're getting chances, brother.
Yeah.
As long as you're getting chances. It's when you're not getting chances, that's when you got to start questioning your game.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep doing
Yeah.
what Georgie's doing.
Yeah, for sure.
So Saturday, buddy, me and you heading on the road. We're going up to Glengarry?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, my brother's gonna take care of Peyton for me. Shannon and Tyson are gone to a tournament in Smith Falls, but they said they're gonna watch it on the. If you're gonna do the thing, Dave, the little
Oh, yeah, we'll do
video.
it.
And I don't know. Come
Yeah,
on,
we'll
you
do
better-
her, bud. She's a road trip, bud. Road trip.
Yeah,
We're gonna-
Big Jerry already texted me. He's pumped, ready to go. So, yeah, I said I don't know what time the bus is leaving and none of that good stuff.
I'll make sure we got
Yeah,
some
we'll
water
have
on the
that
bus,
out
all
there,
right?
yeah.
For the ride home, eh?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
a road trip.
We're not camels. We need liquids. Got to stay hydrated.
That's right. No, but it should be good. I don't know if I played against Glengarry last year. That might have been one of my games where
Yeah, where is Glengarry? Does anybody know?
On the way to
It's,
Ottawa.
Ottawa way?
it's east up by Ottawa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a track.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a haul?
Yeah, it's-
Small, farther than Smith Falls was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but
It's a
I
track.
think like North Dundas.
All right. I'll
Yeah.
get a couple decks of cards then too, eh, George?
Yeah, it might. Yeah, not a bad idea.
Oh, no. Okay. I'll get
Just-
the game plan for the after hour after the victory.
Just before we wrap this up and let you go, George, did you play against North Dundas last year?
Yep, and it was
Was it?
the game we played up there. I actually got to play defense.
Yeah.
We only had 4 defense, and it was me and Jacob.
Oh my God.
Who else was playing? Remember the little lad there,
Dan Atkinson.
Dan Atkinson, and Normie.
Oh, Normie.
Normie.
So yeah, it was tough for us because like there was no breaks. Like
They're
I
good.
think
They're good.
like,
Eh?
You can't play
40
this
minutes
brand
of hockey.
Yeah.
4D.
No, you
At
couldn't.
least that's what it felt like anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a pretty good hockey team.
And all I can say is when we played up there, we lost a lot more than what we lost at home.
Yeah.
But we went up there. We had our practice shirts. We didn't have our real shirts or nothing like that yet. Like remember Johnny was saying like they thought they were laughing at us, and we were late for the warm up, and it was just
Here comes these hillbillies from Tweed.
What the hell are these guys doing? Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So, but then as the year went on, like we got better and better and better.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
think that what we got to do this year is just, and that's the thing too. I know guys are working and stuff, but like we don't always have a full lineup and it's tough on us.
Yeah.
So like when we have a full 4 lines and we're rolling them,
We're tough to beat.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the
good
key.
luck.
That is
But
the
when
key.
like see, we're going to Glengarry this weekend and we only have 3 lines.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and we don't know about Murray or another lad yet, so we're banking on those guys coming. If not, like we're gonna get a lot of ice, and we're playing good. These first 5 teams we're playing are good teams.
Yeah, they're the cream of the crop of the league. You know, once you get going the Ottawa way, George, you're right.
Like you said, Brooksie, if we come out 500, then we'll be doing good.
Yeah. And once we get this one out of the way up in Glengarry, our next 3 are at home, eh, George? So then we go, we go South Grenville. We got a nice little home stand, and I'd like to win that one up there this weekend. Have a nice little shaker on the ride home in the bus. Get the champagne popping.
First bus trip, we got to make it a win.
Yep. And then let's rattle off 3 at home. Win those next 3 home games. Now we're sitting at
right back about 500.
Yeah, now we're sitting at 4-2. Time to put the hammer down, put her in 5th gear. Let's go.
It can be done.
Oh yeah, George.
Just
right?
on it.
Yep. And that's that's something Fly had told us, and I'm a big believer in. I'm okay right now, going through a little adversity, a little growing pains, and we are definitely. Last year we started out a lot better, but we didn't play the caliber of teams we're playing right now. And
No,
like we said, we got a few guys with hunting and stuff we haven't even seen yet. So
no.
And you even figure too, all these other teams, they've picked up a lot of new guys too, like that are
everybody has strengthened their
big
roster.
caliber players. You know what I mean? Like I've seen, because I follow basically every team on there, so you get to see who they've signed and who they've
and stuff. Yeah.
Some OHL goaltenders and some good caliber hockey players.
All the guys from the OHL. This guy played Tier 2 junior. You're like, my God, I played minor hockey, and then I played 2 years junior. But I mean, it was junior C, and my role, my role. So that's like,
yeah, I know there's some
like,
there's some players playing. That's for sure.
Like, even to tell you to get out there on the ice and it can be intimidating at sometimes. You're like, but then once the puck drops for the first period, you're
Ready,
Let's
ready.
go.
let's go. Like
It's all
you're in the
good.
mode. Sometimes I might not say nothing. Other times I'll be up just, let's go. Trying to get the boys rocking. It's I don't know.
Well,
It'll come.
Well, you're
Yeah.
right, George. It will come.
Yeah.
It definitely will come. There's no panic button getting hit
No.
here. That's for darn sure. And it's
And no head on those two games. They're just, and that's the thing. We got new guys too, right?
Yeah.
So we have
right.
guys, and it seems like both games we've had different lines. Like we've never really, like last year, you had your 14 or 15 guys that were there all the time.
Yep.
And then you have your ones that were there when they could be, like Doe. We haven't even seen Doe on the ice this year. We haven't
Yeah.
seen Murray, or haven't seen this other new lads. Like, you don't know until we get going.
Yep.
So,
in January is when we want to be peaking.
Oh yeah.
and that's even fun. So
Yeah.
Like
I know.
everybody
Is it?
makes the playoffs. So
everybody makes the playoffs this year.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody makes the playoffs, but me and Chris are on the
Well, we
same page. We want to be
Don't
hit.
want playing the first seed team.
Yeah, true,
coming
George.
into the
But some way I always looked at it too, partner. If you're going to win it, you got to beat them all anyhow.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
bring on the North Dundas. If Fly gets us to where we need to be, come January, I don't care. I don't care who you put in front of us for a 5-game series. Bring them on.
Yeah.
Bring them on, because with the caliber and with the heart
It's a
we have,
5-game series. You're not a 2 out of 3,
yeah.
because that could have made or break us last year. You know what I mean?
Well, something
Like
I've
we had
always.
a game up there in the first game. It wasn't like it was a bad game, but we got a few bad penalties, and then they scored a couple fucking penalties, or like on the penalties. And then we come back and we won. And then, not to mention any names, but that Myers, I don't like him as a referee. Not a bad lad, but I mean, I think that goal was in, and it was on the video that it was in the net. So
Yeah, it happened so quick.
Yeah, you know what? I just this is one thing that I mentioned the other day is there was it's not a big deal right now, but I mean in a game situation in the playoffs, it is a big deal, I think. And
when Millington
when
scored,
Millington scored on Saturday,
it would have made it 3-2
it would have made it
going in the
3-2 going
second.
into the second period, and a different game, right? So I don't think
5-4 after 2 if that score kept the same.
Yeah.
It would have been a 5-4 game
Yeah, 'cause
going
we
into
were
the third
5-3
period, and
going
probably
in.
a little bit of the foolishness that happened at the start of the third wouldn't have happened.
No. So what I'd like to see happen, and hopefully if it ever comes up, is that there you got to have goal judges or something for the playoffs. But during the regular season, I don't think you need
you
it. But
remember the old time where the guy stood behind the net with turned the light on?
yeah,
goal
that's
judge.
that's what I think you need back, like in the playoffs. It's fast. Like you can't blame that referee. Like Pat come in from the blue line, man, full tilt, puck laying there, and just spanked it. And
He
it hit-
destroyed
it-
that
Oh, he
puck.
just smashed it. It hit the crossbar, hit the center post so fast it come out. I had to I watched it, and I had to watch it like 5 times to
Yeah.
realize,
Well, Steve
that it went
Bancroft
in.
was in that corner when he pulled me aside and he goes, Brooksy, that goal was in.
oh, when it
There's
happened,
not many people I'd
it
take,
was in. Yeah.
some local people going, it was in, it was in.
Yeah.
Banger says, Brooksy, that puck was in and out, and he was adamant.
Yeah.
Well, that
and
puck
and
was
last
in.
year it was painful. That goal was in, and that in the playoffs
you know
it
what?
matters.
We don't cry over
I-
spilt milk.
No,
I
but
get
what
that.
I'm saying is, like, it doesn't matter to me in a regular season game. I don't think. I mean, I know it's fast. I know it's all that good, but when you're in the playoffs
Oh,
and you have a
yeah,
goal
what
like that
was-
that comes in,
yeah.
it then becomes money.
Oh, that's game
It becomes
changing.
you're out, and you don't make it to
Yeah.
the next round. You make it to that next round. There's money being made
Oh, yeah.
towards the team to make everything better. So that's
Yeah.
all my point on that. That's all. Not
That's a
that
good point, Dave.
whining. It's money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is fast though. Like I don't blame the
Oh,
rest
it's
for
fast.
sure. But
Yeah, you definitely want to keep your head up.
yeah, that's what we said I don't know if we said it on the last podcast, but we said it before, and obviously we've said it more than once. how quick and how you have to if you go out there and take a shift off, you could get run over, right, George?
Oh yeah.
You could appease to that. Like you can't take a shift off. Am I right?
No.
Yeah.
And that thing, like sometimes when they get rimmed around the boards, that's why like they want outlet passes for like the D. They're always yelling at us like, give us something to fucking pass to, because if not, you're getting smoked.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
right.
not that they don't want to rim it up the boards. It's
dangerous.
they don't want you to get freight trained.
Yeah.
Yeah. Suicide
Because-
pass.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've turned around and I've many times last year I've had it happen. Turn
Mhm.
around and boom, you're on your ass and you're like, oh, I'm gonna hurt them. Oh, gasping for air.
In through the nose,
oh my
out
God.
through the mouth, Georgie. In through the nose, out
Breathe.
through the mouth.
Breathe.
I'm going to the bench.
Get me off. Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Well-
George, man, I love you, and
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough.
No.
You know, for everything you do for the hockey club and everything you do for the community. Just a bit of a figurehead for us, sort of like the Queen. You know,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Other- you know.
I wouldn't go that.
Well, I would. No,
The kids love you, the wives love you, your players love you, the coaches love you.
Yeah. And Ethel loves you. I don't know who else
Ethel!
Yeah. So I think we could wrap this up. Georgie, is there anything you wanted to ask us, or is there anything you wanted to say to the fans?
No, just thanks a lot and appreciate it. And glad you just come out every week to cheer us Oil Kings on. And we look forward to it. And just really appreciate you guys having me on here.
Oh, well, we're always going to have you on here.
It's not going to be the last time.
Yeah, that's
either,
not going to be the
George.
last time.
Yeah, we might have to do an
Sure.
in studio one with a bunch of cold water sitting in front of us.
Yeah.
I'm in for that.
All right,
brother.
well, here's the deal. You get your beauty sleep for Saturday,
Yeah.
and old Dad will have the water ice cold on the bus for the ride home.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, Georgie.
Thanks for coming on, George. Appreciate it.
No problem. You boys have a good night.
All right, we'll see you Saturday on the bus, baby.
Sounds good.
Adios, muchacho.
See ya.
There we go. Number 7.
Number 7, George Derry.
Can't help but smile talking.
How can
to
you
that.
not smile talking to that guy? Real gem of a guy, right?
What you
Awesome
see is
guy.
what you get.
Character.
Yeah.
Character,
no
character,
smoke
character.
and mirrors. He's not gonna. He's George.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no bullshit with George.
Yeah.
He'll tell it like it is, and
That's the only
if
way.
you step out of line,
He'll let you know that too.
he'll let you know that.
He'll ask you to get back in it.
And if you don't form into line like you're supposed to, it's not going to be good. But
Go
but
to plan B then.
I am that is funny. Something he said that he was a defenseman.
Yeah. Oh, I
like,
knew that.
forever. I didn't know that.
Oh.
And then like when did you become a forward? When I started playing for the Oil Kings.
Yeah, he started. I
Well-
was giving you the hairy eyeball. I'm like, yeah, he didn't play D before.
Yeah, I didn't know. And then that's
when
when
he played in Campbellford, he was a defenseman. And
yeah. Well, I can see it, man. And when I was being genuine when I was saying that I've noticed him playing better at positional type stuff because I think he's learning it as he goes along as the forward aspect of it, right? You know what I mean?
and that's George, right?
Yeah.
Anything we ask him to do on
He'll
the
do it.
hockey, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
And things you don't have to ask George to do, he'll do.
No.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, eh? Like
I wish you could clone that guy a couple
yeah,
of times.
right?
There's not many people I'd like to clone, but I'd maybe clone him once or twice.
Yeah. So here's a quick funny story about the whole Selleck thing, right? With him and George.
Oh yeah, let's hear this one.
So Norm Miracle was there that night, eh?
Yeah, yeah,
Norm,
yeah.
the goaltender who played for the Wings, that good old boy. Louis was talking to George about, a better positioning in himself and stuff like that. And Norm goes, I guess, you know what? I've played hockey for a long time, and I've never seen that before. Teaching him how to, grapple onto a guy in the middle of a game, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, that's Tweed, baby.
Well, like,
And that's Lou Crawford. That's hands-on coaching.
yeah, that's right. And how many times you gonna, skate down the ice and get asked for one by a guy that did it for a living professionally, that got paid to do that?
But you know what? If when I
wouldn't-
didn't really know the guy either, and then I looked him up. Yeah, that he's the real deal, man.
Real
And
deal.
George didn't even think twice about it. It's not like he even
No,
cared.
he played 4 games pro.
Yeah,
He
Florida.
played for the Belleville Senators.
Yeah,
He,
just removed. I might add.
yeah,
like by
not
a couple of years.
a couple of years.
before-
Yeah. So to even take that dance is
Yeah.
something I wouldn't have done.
Catch me outside.
I'd still be a
I
Belleville
love
General.
that line. Yeah, and then when he would ask me, "You want to go? You want to go? Yeah, just give me a sec. I'll be back in a minute."
Be taking my
gone.
skates off.
Honey, start the car.
Start the car.
Start the car. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
Well,
you
that's
know,
why you got to love Georgie Porgy.
everybody loves Georgia.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. It's time now, our portion of our podcast for, I'm going to use my echo thing, Coach's Corner.
Like it, Dave.
Liking it. This Coach's Corner is brought to you by Tim Hortons of Tweed. We got to get some more people working there, baby, so we can go inside after 3. I don't
Yeah,
know,
I'm with you there.
What do you think's going on in the world? People like not,
I don't know, man. I can't figure it out.
they can't get the staffing. I don't know. It doesn't make
Everywhere.
sense. Yeah,
It's not
Every
just
single
Tim
place.
Hortons and Tweed.
it's weird.
It's
So-
different times of society. This
Yep.
one's for you.
This one's, yeah, here you go. Get back to work. There you go. All right. So Saturday, we played our home opener against the North Dundas Rockets and come out on the wrong side of the scoreboard. But I all in all, I thought we played a pretty good game. How'd you see her, Brooksy?
Well, you want to hear it? Here it goes.
Hear it.
Right off the opening hop, I thought North Dundas, you can't take anything away from them, Dave.
No.
They're the defending champs, and
For a reason.
yeah, 100%. 100%. I found their regroup and the way they were able to transition off of turnovers in the neutral zone and stuff like that, and just create offense so
Yeah.
quick. If you got caught napping and
You were in trouble.
yeah, like any mistakes you make against a hockey club like North Dundas, they're going to make you play. You got to play close to a flawless hockey game, and we didn't. But there was lots of positives I took away from that game. So 3-1 after one, right?
Yep.
Could have been 3-2.
Could have been 3-2. Yeah,
Yeah.
we touched on that. A
Yeah,
little
Pat
bit.
Millington
Yeah, little
unloaded
Millie's
a
goal.
shot there, and
Yeah.
it was a rocket. I don't blame the referees or anything like that. In and out.
Yeah.
Then we go into the second period. We win the second period 3-1.
Yep.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yep.
Had a great second, and then third we ran into a bit of
So going into the third, it was 5-3, right?
correct.
Yep.
5-3 going into the third. We came back, and my whole thing was like, boys, let's come back from what were we down 3 or 4-1 after the first?
I think 3 or 4. Yeah. So first you got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3-0. 3-0.
3-0 after the
Yeah.
first. Yeah. So I said, boys, that's a big character win, with the comeback. Then, we got in that 5-minute penalty.
Yeah.
You give a team like North Dundas
Ooh.
a 5-minute penalty, they're scoring more than once.
Yeah.
And we're no different. You give us a 5-minute penalty, we're going to tack it on you.
Yeah.
So little tweaking here and there, and we've seen some things. Was proud of the boys, proud of the effort. We were missing a few things here and there, but it's going to come. It's going to come, Dave, and nowhere am I hitting the panic button by any means. And
No. Because when you break it down too, when you're looking at it, we had our chances. I mean, not only did North Dundas have a really great hockey team. I'm not gonna lie, they're really smooth. They had a good goaltender too. I thought he was really strong. I mean, I think shots
and disciplined.
Oh yeah,
They're a disciplined hockey club.
the shots were 37-35 for them, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, our
real
goaltender
close.
was phenomenal
Oh,
too. Let's
for
give Matt
sure.
Lovey a big
Yeah, I'm not knocking Matty on that. There,
No,
He-
it could have been a lot worse than 9.
they had some serious quality shots and quality goals. That's for
Yep.
sure.
Yep, they
So-
definitely did. I'm not going to take anything away from North Dundas, but
No.
it was nice to measure us, see where we stood in the league sort of thing, because that's to me, that's the upper echelon.
Oh yeah,
That's where we got to be by January, and believe me, oil country, we're there. With the talent on this hockey club, we'll be there.
yeah. I don't doubt that at all. To be honest with you, the things are there, and once we get our full lineup, everybody rocking and rolling. I think
Yeah, like
you're gonna
George
see
said,
different
we
stuff.
haven't seen some guys. There's
No.
3 or 4 guys we haven't seen yet.
No.
So
And again, another big shout out to George. He knows what's going on too, eh? Like he can see it. Everyone can see it. Like it's
Oh,
on
yeah.
the team. They know it. I was talking to Jeremy Yearwood last night at the rink. And he says we just, we got to just get everybody out and get rolling.
It's
and
a group effort.
And that's the truth. They're all saying the same tune, right? Singing the same song.
Yep. We
Yeah.
get the hunt out of the way and get those little things out of the way and let that snow fly. And the dog days of winter, things are going to get nice. Things are going to get interesting, oil country.
So guys that got us goals there were Sheldon Thompson. Who
Shelley?
got a goal. So Shelly. Kudo
That
got an
was a nice
assist on that,
goal.
and Braden Allure. Yeah, I put that one on Instagram.
Yeah.
It was a nice goal.
Yeah.
And then Brody Morris.
The BMO
he got a
sashaying in
goal.
from the point.
Yeah. Assisted by old Kudo.
Yeah.
And Jordan Nesbitt got a point, got a goal, and old Dusty Mains got an assist on that one. And then Sheldon Thompson again got another goal.
Yeah, that is the last one I was talking about,
Yeah.
that backhand goal.
That was
Wow.
pretty
Yeah,
nice.
that was nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
Very nice.
Yep.
And then they had first star was how do you say that?
Derek Boudreau.
Boudreau, yep. And number 2 was Derek. Go ahead.
Derek Froats.
Froats, yeah.
Yeah, he played for the France, Kingston Frontenacs and the old.
And then the third star was Kudo.
Our boy
Brandon
Kudo
Yeah.
just keeps putting the points up.
Yeah.
Murray says he's going to catch him in the points race. I said, you better get out of the camp, Murr.
yeah.
He's taking quite a lead on him.
Yeah. It was funny, eh? Like I had to do double duty there on Saturday with the microphone and the
You did good.
it was all right. My glasses, I couldn't see some of their names sometime. And then you're trying to hear that and you're trying to do that, but that wasn't the funny part. So at the end of the game, I went down into North Dundas's room, eh? And I'm like, hey boys, great game, eh? And if sorry if I fudged up your names or whatever, but I'm sorry, boys. And they all chuckled, right? Because that's not how I said it, but you get
Yeah.
the gist of what was going on.
Yeah.
So good bunch of guys down there too.
Oh, yeah.
Real class
Yeah,
act.
yeah, you could tell they're good dudes. And,
Yeah.
good organization. No
Oh,
doubt
yeah.
about it.
No,
I think they're a lot like us, small town market that,
Yeah.
fans support them and they got a good thing going.
yeah, no, really great squad, and like I said,
But we're coming for you, North Dundas.
Yeah, we're gonna get you.
Yeah, don't think that I'm sitting here gonna bow down.
Yeah, no,
Enjoy it.
yeah, we'll be back.
Well, we're not gonna be back. We're taking it this year.
We'll
We're
see you in the
gonna-
playoffs, baby.
That hardware you got's coming to Tweed, boys.
All right, and then so that pretty much gets us a wrap up on the game, eh?
Yeah,
think-
I think that's good. Break down everything. Get ready for Saturday bus trip. Skipping out on family pictures
Yeah,
and
I'm missing,
Thanksgiving dinner.
I'm missing a Thanksgiving dinner too.
Man, I got a good wife.
Me too. I don't. Well, I can't tell if she's mad at me, but she might be. What are you gonna do? Right? You gotta go. You
Yeah.
gotta.
I
support
made
the
a
team.
commitment, man.
Yeah, me too, and I feel the same way. I know I promised everybody that I was going to live stream the game on Saturday up in Glengarry.
Yeah.
And then again, I wanted to say thanks to everybody that helped out with the subscribes to the YouTube page, the Oil King, or well, no, it's actually not even that. It just says Oil King Podcast YouTube page. So it turns out I wanted
thanks,
to have
guys.
I really appreciate that. I wanted to have a backup in case the Facebook Messenger one, or the video thing doesn't work. And so the YouTube Live, I might use that too, because somebody was telling me that I might be able to zoom in better. You know what I mean? So I
Yep.
thought maybe we'll give it a try. But
Yeah,
what I-
another spot for an Oil King fan to watch a road game anywhere they can get it. Let's
Yeah.
give it to them.
so I really appreciate you guys for doing that. I asked and you came through.
Got the best fan base going, Davey.
Yeah. And then just to touch on a couple of the other things there, I don't know if anybody saw the post of Normie shoes on the
the Air
Facebook
Norms.
page. Yeah, the Air Norms. You see them?
Yeah, I heard Nike's stocks went up 35%.
I heard that too.
Those hit the.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to get myself a set though.
Me too. I am definitely thinking about doing it. I think
my feet are so
it's,
big, like size 12s.
They're pretty
white running
white, though.
shoe.
They're pretty
I know.
white.
I look like Bob Twilliger, Sideshow Bob.
What do you do?
What do you do?
So, like I said, we're on the road trip to Glengarry to take on the Pipers. Again, that's going to be another good team, eh?
Yeah. All the Ottawa teams, you get up that way. Let's be honest. I don't think there's a piss poor team in this league.
No, I don't think so either.
You got to show up every night.
Yeah, everybody's strengthened their rosters, that's for sure. So
You
I mean,
wanna.
you need to.
Yeah,
right?
we do.
So this league is it's starting to take off, in my opinion. I don't know what it was like before because I never watched, but I think it's got to be. I think it's rose to a whole new level. I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think after the end of this year, we'll have a better gauge too. You know, we've seen last year.
Yeah.
And we'll see the quality of hockey clubs, coming in this year.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
we've seen a couple of dandies so far.
Yeah. Well, that's the Smith Falls. That's the North Dundas. Those are good hockey, good senior A towns, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
So in next week's podcast, I did a little. I left that. I did a little thing for Lou on the Facebook page.
Yeah,
and
that
I
was a
don't know if
nice
you saw
hype
it.
up.
Yeah,
that
pretty
was.
good, eh?
Holy, I'm like, who did that? You did that?
Super D Productions. So who do you think did it, buddy?
Well, I thought maybe the missus, the young lad, old Eli, might have
Yeah.
stepped in there on
Not-
the ones and twos and helped that out.
Not just a pretty face, bud.
I
Yeah,
guess not, eh?
talented little guy. So anyway, I left it
Rod.
on there because it was cool. I liked it. But anyway, Lou will be on next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to him slinging around some stories.
Yeah, he's awesome. So he'll be a lot of fun. He, like I said, we were gonna have at the beginning of this podcast, we were gonna have George on next week, but he was gracious enough to help us out here at the last minute to move his slot. So, and I thought George had a great podcast. I really enjoyed having him on.
Well,
Well,
what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I love so much about George. He's honest. He's original.
Yeah, he's the real deal. That's for sure.
Yeah, say that again. Amen.
So I think we're about ready to wrap this up. Maybe we'll just you want to bang out some of the sponsors?
Yeah,
the Oil Kings?
100%. Because these are the people, guys, that make this all move and shake the way it does. So we won't go a pod without giving some love to Tim Hortons and Tweed,
Timmy's.
Clifford Bergeron, Injury Law,
Slip and fall.
Rosebush Fuels.
Rosebush, baby.
Fill her up.
I filled her up today.
Yep. Vito's Pizzeria.
Had a pizza on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm lazy.
Hey, it's good cooking. Got to support local
Gotta
or it won't
support.
be there. Rayburn Insurance. Adam Wolfrey. There's a good person.
Good man.
Yes, sir. Scott Trudeau Construction. Kyle Ramsey. Quality Excavation and Logging.
Quality.
Don Echo. CNC Hose, Fittings, and Industrial Supply.
Industrial supply. What else we got on there? I think you nailed them.
Well, no, I'm forgetting the one, the only DCW.
ECW. Oh, wait, let's give him the echo. Dirty crack welding. I'll feel it.
For any welding needs, if you break it, Dirty will fix her, guys.
DCW.
Yeah, and he'll tell you exactly how to do her.
Yeah.
One of the
So,
best.
from all of us to all of you, have yourself a good rest of the week, and we will see you on the live feed Saturday night from Glengarry as we take on the Pipers.
So, don't forget, Oil Kings fans, Saturday night up in Glengarry. After you're done having some turkey, throw on the live stream, get the family around the TV, snuggle up beside Grandma, and let's support the green and yellow. It's not
Go
where you
Kings,
start.
go.
She's where you finish, guys.
Exactly.
In this hockey club, I'm telling you, stand beside us. We're going to be good.
We out.